Now we're going to go over how to add and subtract polynomials. So to do this, given any multiple polynomial, or when you have more than one polynomial, if you would add and subtract them, first you're going to combine like terms, and then you can simplify and write in standard form. There are a couple ways you can combine like terms. You could do it in line, and one little trick you can use is just kind of circling the terms that have bases with common exponents. You can also line them up like over top of, vertically, and then add them similar to what you would have done probably in second grade or third grade when you were doing addition problems. So I'm going to show you method 1 for the first one, then I'm going to show you method 2, and you can decide what makes sense for you. For method 1, so we're just going to identify common terms. I'm going to first start by identifying the term with the highest exponent, and I'm going to work my way down, and this just helps me to make sure that I don't skip anything. So my highest exponent looks like it's x cubed, so I'm going to start there. I'm going to circle that. So I'm going to rewrite 4x cubed. And there's only one x cubed term. So now I'm going to go on to x squared. I'll use a square for squared. Why not? So I have an x squared term here and another here. So I'm going to add the two because that's what I've been asked to do. So 12x squared plus 8x squared gives me 20x squared. So I went right, 20x squared. Then next, I'm going to look for my x terms, and I see I have one here. I'm going to use a squiggly line, and one here. So I have positive 9x plus a negative 5x, so I'm really just going to subtract. So that will give me 4x, right? 9 minus 5 is 4, so that's plus 4x. And then last, I have my constants. So I'm going to put a squiggly on the top to make it different. So negative 21 plus 21, which is going to be negative 1, or negative 21 plus 20. So it's going to be a negative 1. And then that's my final expression. And it says write in standard form. Well, I made sure to write it. We'll do this in order of highest exponent to lowest exponent, so it's in standard form. Now let's take a look at finding the difference, a different type of example. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this by lining up common terms. So this is another method you can use if you don't want to do it in line and circle and use squares and squigglies the way I did here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to check each term. So I have the x to the 4th, and I'm going to rewrite this whole thing, 7x to the 4th. I don't have a cube term here, but I have one here. I want to make space for it. If I don't see a cube term here, it must be because I have a coefficient of 0. So I'm just going to put plus 0x cubed. And that's just so I can hold that space, but it's going to equal 0. Then I'm going to put my x squared minus x squared plus 6x and plus 1. If you just want to leave a gap here, you can do that as well. And now I'm going to subtract. I need to subtract everything here. I'm going to put a parentheses so I remind myself. Some people also, since you're subtracting, what you're really going to have to do is reverse all your signs and then add, but I'm just going to leave it as subtraction. I'm not going to make it too fancy. So I'm going to rewrite everything underlined. So I'm going to align my x cubed terms. 5x cubed minus 2x squared, and notice how I'm putting everything. I'm lining up all of my common terms, plus 3x plus 2. So now everything's aligned. I can carry out my operation, and here I'm subtracting. So it's 1 minus 2, which will give me negative 1, 6x minus 3x, which will give me 3x, negative x squared minus a negative 2x squared. So it's minus a negative. I'm really going to add. So it's really negative x squared plus 2x, which will give me a positive x squared. Plus 2x squared, which will give me a positive x squared. Here I have 0x cubed minus 5x cubed, which will give me a negative 5x cubed. That's for my plus. And finally, 7x to the 4th minus, well, there's nothing here. I could put a 0 as a placeholder. Why not? But it's just going to be 7x to the 4th. So I already did this. I rearranged everything. So it was in order of highest exponent to lowest. It was already naturally that way for my first term. So here, it's already in standard form. So this is our final answer. Now you're going to have an opportunity to move on and do a couple of problems on your own. So I want you to try your turns. Show me the work and I'll give you feedback.